So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to again a quite a unique video, which is not just unique; it is kind of like a must to understand. Especially when we are studying astrology, when we are looking at horoscopes. Okay, and so today's subject is about the sign of Aquarius and what happens and how to actually understand when you have planets in the sign of Aquarius. So this is what we're going to discuss, because there is not misunderstanding. Actually, there is not understanding at all of this sign, I feel like. Because most people who try to understand astrology, they get all the signs very quickly. They get all the zodiac signs very quickly, except Aquarius. They don't get what Aquarius sign is. And I've actually made a video. I do believe I've made a video on Scorpio detailing that. And I think Aquarius too. But this particular video is about understanding planets when they're in the sign of Aquarius. Okay. And as always, if you do not know, if you have planets in the sign of Aquarius, especially on the sidereal side, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, consultation, and link to my academy, Magha Vedic Astrology Academy. So one thing you have to understand about sign of Aquarius, which I don't think too many people know, especially in this classical book known as Utrakala Mitra, and I believe even Phaldipika, or one of them, it is stated that when moon is in the sign of Aquarius, it behaves like Cancer. Okay? So when a moon is in the sign of Aquarius, it behaves like Cancer. And now I understand why, when I was taking my courses of Jaimini, Jaimini lessons, level 1, 2, and 3 with my Jaimini Guru, Mark Boni, why he said that when Kapiel Raaj came to the position of Jupiter in being in the sign of Aquarius, he said it was quasi good, quasi exalted. I don't know what the exact term Mark used in his class, but it was like it's a quasi benefic planet. When Jupiter is in Aquarius, it gives excellent results. Why? Because of the fact Jupiter is behaving like it's in Cancer. Because you got to understand, it says when moon is in Aquarius, it's behaving like it's in Cancer, which means all the other planet will behave like they are in the sign of Cancer. So what happens when Jupiter is in Cancer? It acts exalted. And as I explained to you guys before, one of the reasons why that Jupiter is exalted in the 4th house is not because of the fact Mother is our first guru, Mother is our first teacher, but 4th house is a house of a householder. Whether you're a man or woman doesn't matter. If you are the one who is running the home, whether you're making money, whether you're taking care of the children, cleaning the house, you're a householder. And having the householder responsibility while at the same time pursuing God is actually the sign of a real yogi, is actually the sign of a real enlightened person. Many people are in this belief system that if you have given up on family attachments and let go of your material desires, and that you are simply just okay with having simple clothes, a white cloth, an orange cloth, and minimal amount of furniture in your home, that you are higher and more entitled to know God. See, because we become this moralist society, we want to put morals on everybody. Oh, you shouldn't do this because if you want to know God, you've got to do this, this, and this. And everybody feels like that they have the rule book. They're following the ultimate rule book path. And then they become pious in their opinions. And that's what the dangerous part is, because the one who actually takes on the responsibility of the world, responsibility of raising a child, responsibility of raising or not raising, taking care of their spouse, while also doing your practices of meditation, You are the real yogi. You are the one who is actually going by the book. So that's one part of what I wanted to say here. But when planets are in the sign of Aquarius, just by knowing this part that I told you about Uttakala Mitra, you can understand why Mars feels frustrated in Aquarius, because the actions are being lost. One feels frustrated because one's actions are not being appreciated by the world. One always tries to do things for the world. One always tries to gather society so they can protect society. They like when Mars is in Aquarius, a lot of people always try to go for social welfare, social reform, political reform, wanting to be this protector of society, protector of children, protector of the world. But the thing is, the world is so busy in blindly following certain tasks that this Mars gets frustrated. That why is it that anybody is listening to me? Why is it that you people don't see that your actions are wrong? We need to come together and do something together and make things right. And not everybody wants to do that. Not everybody is here to become a Satya Yogi, fighting, crime through non-violence. Because Aquarius, in a short form, is the sixth from the sixth house. Sixth house is the trouble of your personal life, obstacles of your personal life, deaths of your personal life, enemies of your personal life. When you go 6 places away from the sixth house, which is known as the Bhavam concept, where the sign of Aquarius is originally from the sign of Aries, 6th house is Virgo, 11th house is Aquarius. That means now you're not just dealing with your own problem, you're dealing with the problems of the world, debts of the world, obstacles of the world. So this is why Aquarius represent that unity of the world. But everybody just thinks like, oh, unity of the world, coming together, having a committee. But no one is understanding how a planet will be behaving in that. So like, let's say if you have moon and sun in the sign of Aquarius, and I have already spoken about this, where Scorpio and Aquarius are karmic signs. Okay, and this is something that even Sanjay Rath has explained. And actually Sanjay Rath might be coming towards the end of this month. It'll be a very interesting topic, but I'm hoping that he can come towards the end of this month. I just had an email exchange with him a couple of days ago. So he's kind of busy with his school right now, but towards the end of the month, he might be coming. And as most of you may not know, or some of you may not know, Sanjay Rath is one of the most prolific astrologers of India. Okay, so when you listen to him, it's like you just want to keep listening to him for hours and hours. So the other thing that you have to understand when sun and moon, the illuminaries. See, you got to understand the reason why sun and moon are important in terms of understanding any signs, any planet, is that they're the illuminaries. They illuminate something. They put a light on something. Sun put its direct light on it. Moon reflects the light upon that. Moonlight is more cooler. Sunlight is more hotter. You may even see that if you put a wound, if you had any cut or bruise and you put a wound in front of a moonlight, it'll actually get worse. If you put your wound in front of sunlight, it'll be healing. This is how amazing this science is. And so when the illuminaries are in the sign of Aquarius, naturally a person's soul and mind is designed to work for society, to give themselves for society, to understand themselves. Because see, when you are looking at the luminaries about knowledge, knowing, seeing. So you're trying to see about yourself. You're trying to know about yourself. And the way it's going to happen is when you serve other people. This is the highest of the servitudes. Aquarius sign is like the highest of everything. It is the highest of the kama houses, meaning the highest of the desired houses. It's highest of the trick houses, the ones that get you in trouble as well. It is the highest of the houses in terms of serving society, because 6th house is serving through non-profit organizations. Aquarius is serving the world, being the Mother Teresa, going through NGO and UN. I don't know if you consider that anything beneficial, knowing some of these hidden agendas of some of these organizations, but you know, the basic point is that you want to do things for the world. And once you see us planets in Aquarius, let's say you see cluster of planets in Aquarius, you know this person's soul agenda. And I'm not talking about soul as in soul. I'm taking soul as in singularity. Their soul agenda is to work for society, to serve society, to gain from society, to lose from society. There is a heavy karma towards society. What it can show is that a person could have taken a lot of things away from society in their past life or past lives. And in this life, they're going to have to serve society. And the other thing is this. The reason why also sign of Aquarius is one of the highest of signs, because it is the bhavat bhavam of Pisces. See, Pisces is the highest, meaning it's the last sign. It represents the things which are away from this world, away from this material plane we know it as Earth or Bhumandala. Well, bhavat bhavam is a concept from sign to sign. It becomes the higher of the self. So 6th house is 6th house. Bhavat bhavam of the 6th house is the 11th house. 3rd house is 3rd house. Bhavat bhavam of the 3rd house is 5th house. So bhavat bhavam of the 12th house is the 11th house, because it's the 12th from the 12th. You see, so Pisces person, or the instincts of Pisces, the agenda of Pisces is escapism. That, oh, I just want to leave the world. I'm done with this world. I'm tired of this world. I have to leave. I have to be in isolation. Like I told you about exalted Venus in my last video, the intoxication of Venus. Pisces is intoxication. But does that mean that you escaping things and not, playing a part, playing a role in God's architectural, world known as universe? If you think you can do better just by escaping, that you may have some misconstrued, wisdom there. Because when you serve society, when you do something for the world without wanting to get something from it, then you are kind of praising the higher and divine by giving yourself into the works. You see, so this is why Aquarius is it's a must sign to be understood. And remember, another reason why Aquarius is the highest of the signs, because it's the highest high definition signal a person can have. Why is that? What do I mean by high definition signal? There are many type of signals. There are many type of networks. Like, remember, we started out with 1G, then we went to 2G, then 3G network, then 4G network. Now I believe it's 5G network, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe there could be 6G, 7G network. Then we started out with, standard definition television. Then we went on to high definition, which was a big thing in the mid 2000s. Now we are at Ultra HD, 4K, 6K, 8K. So whatever the highest of these, order is, Aquarius becomes that. And such people, so like imagine this, if let's say you have a small antenna of high definition, it's good. But imagine if you have 3, 4, 2, 5 antennas working together. Imagine how much information you can gather. So this is why when you see cluster of planets in Aquarius, or even like sometimes one planet, but especially when you see cluster of planets in Aquarius, you will see how this person experiences information and things beyond what everybody else can see. Like if this person, like you will see, if a person has cluster of planets in Aquarius, they will probably talk about things, if you really, dig deep into them, like, have you had alien experiences? Experiences with entities beyond this world, entities perhaps below this world that nobody thinks is real, and they may think you're cuckoo. And you'll be surprised and astonished how the things that this person would experience. Why? Because they have the signal to experience those things. Their signal is so strong that they're bringing in entities to connect with them. Like, these are the people that can connect with Palladians, Andromedans, any star system. And for them, it's kind of like normal. They become this natural psychic, this medium type person. But for a regular world, a regular Joe working in a bank and finance and, IT, they probably either will laugh at it, ridicule it, or will be like, okay, well, you keep doing what you're doing. I got my 9 to 5 job. And this is where you as a human being have to start respecting some of these signals. That when somebody has these signals within them, and just because you are not experienced it, because you'll be like, okay, prove it. Oh, you're connecting with them, prove it. And you will not get the proof. Why? Because you can't see it, because your signal is turned off. If someone else's television is on, and you have a television set given by this universe, and they say, prove it, show me this channel on my TV. How can they make you see 8K high definition signal on your television when your television is not built for that in this life? You may be able to tweak some engineering if you were to work hard at it, but you probably won't. Why? Because your interest is not there. That's why you have that television. The one who has this high definition television is able to see things, experience things. And when they tell somebody, they'll either get laughed at, ridiculed at. So some of these things that you hear about, whether it's online, whether you give it a name, conspiracy theories or not, just because you're not experiencing it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Your frequency is not in tune with it. Like if you take, let's say, Saturn and Rahu are probably the two very strong, conductor of this energy. Why? Because they both co-rule this sign. Saturn is karma, service, servant. So what did I just say about the sign of Aquarius? Being a servant to the world, not just your own individual karma, but to the world, performing duties. And Rahu is otherworldly things. Rahu is outcast. Rahu is showing you things which are kind of like outside the boundaries of Saturn. So it kind of becomes this eccentric sign because of the co-rulership of Rahu and Saturn. And remember, Saturn is karma karaka, meaning the significator of karma. Meaning you take on karma, you give karma, you perform karma, you deal with karma. And Rahu becomes a bhoga karaka, meaning it gives you bhojan, it gives you the bhog, it gives you what you want in this life. This is why Aquarius represents the highest of desires. But the reason why it becomes a trick sign originally, due to the fact too much of material desire will take you away from God, will take you away from your true essence, which is formless. And once you do not understand that you're formless, you'll keep on getting lost in this matrix, and you'll keep coming back for thousands of lifetimes. Maybe then you'll get an opportunity, small opportunity to understand who you are. If you skip that, you'll keep coming back again and again. So this is why 11th house is the highest of the trick house, meaning obstacle house, because having too much desire, too much ambition will take you away from what you really should be ambitious about, is who you are. Not trying to get your $1 million, not trying to get your highest of paid job, not your fancy cars. And this is why in traditional astrology, back in the days, and I'm not even talking about a few hundred, I'm probably talking about a few thousand years, they said to live a simple life. Have a simple life, like have a 2-bedroom home as a normal family with 2 children, have minimal amount of furniture, just work enough to where you can have, 2 meal per day, bread and dal and whatever. Why? Because when bad transits come, when bad dashas come, when excellent transits come, when excellent dasha come, if you keep your life steady, like we just have a 2-bedroom home, we're good with our little scooter, or your cow or your horse that would take you, like a carriage, take you somewhere. When anything good or bad happens, you wouldn't really notice it as much, unless it was to do with health. Why? Because you're no longer living in a place where you can lose it and then come down. If you live a simple life, just simple life with the most simplest of material things, when bad times happen, you will feel it, but not to an extent. When good times happen, you'll feel it, but not to such an extent that it becomes that trick for you. It becomes that obstacle for you, because you get so involved, enveloped in it, that you then forget that, oh, the good time can come back down. And that's a problem with all of us. We get too tied into the time that if the good thing is there, oh, it'll always be there. And that's not always the case. It never is the case. So you have to understand planets in Aquarius through this concept. Like Ketu is a moksha karaka. Ketu will definitely bring in karma where you get rejected by the society, where you get rejected by giving service and wanting to give service. And especially the person in Ketu would already have served society so much that they will feel like, you know what, I don't really need to serve society. Or I will serve society, but I'm not really looking for any praises from it. I'm not really looking for any material gains from it. Whether I get it or not, I'm indifferent. Because again, Rahu Ketus are nodes. They're kind of like these confusing black hole points. And this is why understanding Rahu Ketu becomes quite difficult with this type of a position. Mercury and Venus, your love and your communication will be all towards society. Like Mercury in Aquarius can be this type of person who wants to be in front of a huge crowd and wanting to, give a speech to mother them. This person will come out as a motherly person when they talk. They just want to always embrace and protect things. Why? Because remember, Venus and Mercury will behave like they're in the sign of Cancer. So when they give speeches, they emotionally connect with people. But they don't emotionally connect with people on a personal level. It's emotional connection on a much broader, higher level. Okay? So hopefully this has given some, light to how to understand planets in the sign of Aquarius, regardless of, what planets you have, cluster of planets, conjunction of planets. Hopefully this will make things a bit easier. Okay? So anyway, guys, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know if you have any other astrological details or planets in the sign of Aquarius, just check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you in a couple of days with some new video. Okay? Bye-bye.